Ruiz, and they be a heavyweight belt. You see the Mexican trim on Andy Ruiz's trunks, and that reminds you that if Ruiz can win the fight, he'll be the first, as these two very relatively quick off to an active start in Auckland.
Yeah, both can't see really good, but it looks like that straight right hand from, I like the tempo that both guys are fighting at.
Yeah, Joseph Parker is an intriguing, he's dynamic and they fight if you imagine Ruiz in a little different.
New Zealand from Big Bear, California.
He's more of a, explode at a guy.
His feet first, yeah, right foot going back first. He uses those feet first as defense. Whereas
body repeating camp in Big Bear, California, and you see with the 1-2 combination, and now very good first round.
Great to see his combinations seem to have even a little more.
Parker, as he got his jab in several to lead over Joseph Parker in
technical style, obviously, but in the aftermath, it was a fun round of boxing to watch in the heavyweight division. It's
backs
shown it yet, but he seems to me is a
to compete at any level. A good fighter, guy who puts punches together.
So a good combination.
More subtle skill on Ruiz.
That comes from being around more seasoned fighters.
Took straight right hand and hand speed showing up as he gets on Joseph Parker here in the second round.
We got a good fight going on now, Jim.
That's when he's got some forward momentum going.
10 punches as opposed to only 6.
And you want to throw the big shots to the head. Because big knockout shot because
Parker just fighting defense, which is not his game. And he's the guy with the initiative.
These two fighters, we see that Parker Ruiz is the shortest.
Doesn't mean he shouldn't be first.
No, it does it sometime, but he's waiting a little too. It's not really good for you in a close fight. Time we saw that Andy can counter too.
Going to have to achieve a comfort level fight, Roy.
Yes, he is, because if he continuously goes forward, he stands to
reverse his interest to allow Andy to get off first in some instances.
Max says he had to counter that attack.
So Parker draws proving here in Auckland. Andy Ruiz comes back with a straight right hand and a left hook.
Andy Ruiz, Jim, I mean, the kid throws terrific combinations. And very
Abel Sanchez in his long and illustrious back in the late 80s and early 90s with somebody to whom Abel Sanchez
weight and then a heavyweight and was a compact and fought more like Roy is a little more. There's something about him, Morris.
A little bit more explosive, I think, more poised than Olin ever. Not the poise that we see with Ruiz. Ruiz can have
Parker. Ruiz is able to stay calm when the punches start flying.
That now attaches to Abel Sanchez and his the amount of work that fighters put in there, and of course the fact that they are training shoulder to shoulder. Kim, who has become a gym legend within the sport.
I gotta tell you, it's an interesting fight so far.
But his standard walk-around New Zealand name is
yet compared to the last
between Vladimir Klitschko and Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
and dreadful. It was everything
to that.
This fight isn't.
Yeah, compared to that, this is
compared to that. I'd be dang. It is.
That was one of the worst title fights.
They have a lot of skills. A lot of skills to dominate the division. These two guys don't have. These are two guys who are well-rounded boxers.
Kevin Barry, trainer for Joe, maybe not as proven on the world stage as is Abel Sanchez. He has performed so far in this situation.
See what Parker, but the only thing that he's probably thinking is that Ruiz, and he doesn't want to
have trouble finding exactly the moment at Central Time in Omaha.
Jim, I hate to say it, those are Roy Jones' movement as a light heavyweight and a super middleweight. Adding the right traps. It's just that Andy's not going to buy into those traps.
Seriously, Roy Jones.
I mean, I don't know moves. I see a lot of my particular
your style to your unique gifts.
Is something special. Look,
left hand low like that and pawing jab. I like his crisp jab.
Yeah, but that paw comfortable.
Well, I mean, the fighters who
know you are by nature very bashful, but rest assured when you see yourself in there to point it out.
That was a really good and rare exchange.
Like nothing had happened.
Body shots involved.
Looked like the 12th round of Holmes. Have it scored midway through.
Jim, I got a right hand like he did around tremendous. But to tell you the truth, if you watch Joseph Parker,
Roy is on
that pawing jab. It makes a guy have to.
Could have gone either way. I thought Ruiz fight at this moment.
Now that you guys have agreed that should Andy Ruiz this right hand?
Yes, he should, but it's attack him more so that he's.
This was disciplining Parker at times with those comments, and then Parker's slipping in that left kind of jab hook at times. It's
traded right there. The one who is more likely to back his opponent out with a hard punch
is being cautious because he doesn't want to give the fight away.
There's the Mexican, an amateur. And that makes bulge because there's less likely
opposition, and this happens to almost all fighters. At times, just overwhelming them with offense. Out puncher. And we've a little more aggressive, and I admire.
I think you have to give Parker.
I could agree with him being more.
Seems like it won't go your way, and you stick with it, and you make adjustments, and you. Ruiz still.
Ruiz to keep him pinned against the rope.
Sounds it looked like Ruiz was just maybe outclassing him a bit.
It makes it much more difficult for Parker.
Bunch, and that's going to show up on the scorecards for him. Years, Max Kellerman slowed down the pace. Next big fight with Tyson Fury having relinquished his titles and put
with good chance, good boxing skills.
At least in heavyweight. Look, he had to trap home turf for this fight, and that tells you something. Place thinks about these two guys. And Ruiz, not that long ago,
the same sentence with Wilder and Joshua.
Any of those guys want to jump in the ring.
Talk about how not interesting the Cuban's a top-notch fighter. Then it comes when he fights a top-notch fighter, the real Ortiz comes out
and he reverts heavily on their Cubans
to fight the other guy. If one guy.
Another fight taking place here in Omaha off of television monitors.
He keeps coming forward. He let it go enough. Look at this. He lets him open up, throw a lot more punches. I think the fight.
And Roy, as the fight seen coming at him from Ruiz, his accuracy,
because his confidence is much higher now, Jim. He's kind of following him around.
Now,
so far by Ruiz, that Parker's Ruiz's head around. Anthony Joshua necessarily, but
so the only way we know if somebody's ready,
and fighters who look vulnerable.
Joshua, he throwing body shots, Roy.
Always the right time to throw body shots.
The number of those throwaway jabs tended to land, but rather to distract the opponent.
Distract him. It's some really good body shots as Parker tried to do some work upstairs just recently in some big fights.
Highest number of connected punches. The fight has gone on.
And right there, Jim, at about round 6 or round 7. Now you see Parker even throw. So maybe he could have been closer to winning the fight.
I think Harold has the theme of the fight right. If you
might note that Harold Letterman is the in Auckland, New Zealand.
At the end of the fight with Harold's scorecard.
Yeah, well, that's in boxing, Roy. They should agree.
Round 11. Parker's focus has stayed.
Stuck to his game plan, Jim. You like the up-and-coming heavyweight tender. Good body shots.
Good body shots by
and be what people remember.
A safe-looking three-point lead.
Become the best punch he's thrown. That jab has kept Andy at bay, although Andy just countered it really good right there.
Reference, Jim, the last round of, and this fight seems to be in the balance, and these guys are throwing some big shots.
And didn't even phase Andy.
Just down the stretch. Andy eats it.
Just then.
Good left kick.
Only Harold's unofficial scorecard. Ruiz to show us one more burst of it
for himself.
And you see Parker doing a really good job of keeping.
Such a good point, Jim. Those were hard shots. And that
trying to finish with a rally here.
Good jab again.
Judge Lagumbai scores the bout 114 draw. Judge Cerdan and Judge